Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's start our video with the story of a woman who went shopping and asked to load her car with bales of hay. And oh my, there was a priceless heirloom that was destroyed. I think you can imagine the scene she made. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Just throw these hay bales in the back of your junk-filled truck? No problem. I work at a feed store. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a store where people go to buy feed for livestock, cows, pigs, goats, and other animals of that sort. Our main feed is, of course, hay. Hay bales weigh anywhere from 80 to 120 pounds, depending on the type of hay. I'm the manager at this feed store and have a very close relationship with the owner. We have a regular at this store. Let's call her Kay. Kay is a trophy wife, and her body is filled to the brim with as much silicone as one plastic surgeon would allow. She's a huge complainer and constantly whines about our products. For the years I've worked there, I've always been super nice to her and listened to her complaints, but lately she's been going a little overboard. She came in earlier this week to buy some hay. She comes in and pays, then backs her truck up to the hay barn. I walk in to load her 10 bales, and when I drop her tailgate, I see that her truck bed is full of junk. I then tell her that I won't be able to fit 10 bales in her trunk unless she cleans it out. Kay then says, "I've fit 20 like this before. Don't tell me what to do, just do your job and load up the hay." I comply and start to load up the hay, smashing everything in the truck. Every time I lay one down, I hear crunching from plastic and wood snapping. I pay no mind. After all, this is what she wanted. I finish loading and she drives away. She comes back later that day and runs into the store absolutely livid. Apparently, I smashed a precious family heirloom, which turned out to be a rocking chair. She demands a compensation of $700. She also complains that 2 of the bales fell out of her truck while she was driving, and she didn't have the chance to stop and turn around, leaving 2 whole bales of hay in the middle of the road, and demands compensation for those 2 bales also. This is how the conversation went. Kay: "It's unbelievable how this store is run. You don't care at all about your customers. You're rude and selfish." Me: "I'm sorry about this, but I told you that you needed to clean out your truck. You told me just to throw the bales on top of all the junk, so I did. I was only doing what you asked." "I don't care. Call the owner. Now." I refuse to speak to you anymore. She goes and sits in her car, and I call the owner and explain to him the situation. He lives right down the road from the store, so he was there in less than 5 minutes. He walks into the store with Kay following behind him. She tells him that she told me to be careful of the valuables in the back of the truck. I then tell the owner what actually happened, and she began screaming at me, calling me a liar. The owner asked to see the chair. I followed them outside to see the chair. The chair was buried under all kinds of buckets, children's toys, and other junk. The chair itself was absolutely demolished. He looks at the chair, and when he goes to pick it up, it falls apart even more. Of course, this sends Kay into a blind rage. She's yelling and screaming, and my boss and I were just standing there silently watching her. After she's done, my boss just says, "He told you that you needed to clean out your truck." She then continues yelling, and eventually my boss tells her to leave. As she drove away, she threw an egg at the front of the store. My boss and I have a good laugh about it, and he buys me lunch. Great place to store a priceless heirloom, too, surrounded by moldering junk in the back of a truck. And our second story. Random guy gets mad when I won't sell my car. Okay, so I'm male, 45, medically disabled, multiple issues, the most serious being kidney failure, for which I have dialysis 3 times a week. Tuesday, I woke up and my sister was leaving for her job, making a cup of tea and some toast. In the UK. I'm just sitting down when someone starts pounding on my front door. Some guy standing there. EA: "That Folk is yours?" Me: "Yeah? Why?" "Sell it to me." "Sorry, but it's not for sale, at least not yet." "Well, when will it be for sale?" "March next year when I get my mobility car." "I can't wait that long. I'll give you 250 pounds for it. And take it now." It's not for sale. And in any case, it's a guaranteed 750 pounds if I sell it to the Ford dealership. Ford promised me that as a minimum despite being old because it's got less than 60K miles. Give me the keys and take the 250 pounds. You're on private property. Leave now before I call the cops. You're selling me that car. Me holding my phone up, showing the call screen or 999. No, I'm calling the police as you're trespassing and making me feel threatened. He took off like a rocket. Phoned my sis and told her what happened, described him. She told me while I was in the hospital last month for a minor operation, a guy tried to buy it from her. Sounds like the same guy. Frankly, he comes back, I'm calling the police. I don't get the fascination with the 2007 Ford Focus with a couple of damaged panels due to vandalism and hit and runs. Edit. Police report filed and local neighborhood watch group notified. Maybe his therapist told him he needed some focus in his life. And our third story. Test the master e-stop while the machine is running. I work at a food processing plant, and between August and November is our busy season where we make tomato paste. The process for making paste is you basically repeatedly boil down the fruit until you boil out most of the water from it in a machine called an evaporator. These are aseptic systems, meaning they're completely sealed from the outside after being sterilized. One afternoon of making paste, the CEO and COO come by giving some suits a tour of the paste production. They want to show off their new safety system by making us hit the master e-stop for the evaporators. We can't do this. If the system stops, the valves open and the system is no longer aseptic. If this were to happen, we'd lose 2 days of production to re-sterilize the machines. After explaining this to these monkeys and having the paste supervisor get into a heated argument about why we can't stop the machine like that, the CEO and COO were not having any of it. So we relent and hit the e-stop. Cue all the valves popping and thousands of pounds of boiling hot tomato paste being expunged onto the floor. The look of terror on their faces when we told them that this is a 48-hour cleanup still makes me smile. We haven't seen the CEO or COO in the paste yard since. And our last story. Woman keys car 'cause it's too loud. So for some background, the car wasn't mine, it was my brother-in-law's. He's suing her for about 60 grand for the damages. I don't know the exact car model, but it's a muscle car and it's a manual. Characters. Me, BIL is brother-in-law, sis, Karen, mom, police officers, P1 and P2. So it all started when I decided I wanted to start learning stick. Since my brother-in-law is the only person I know with a manual car, I had him come over and teach me. When the car starts up, it does make a rather loud rev. We made sure to do it in the afternoon so as to not wake people up and try to be considerate. Anyways, it was about the third or fourth day of him teaching me when she first appeared. Karen. Nice car. Bit too loud for my taste, but still it's nice. Me. Oh, thanks. Mind trying to keep it down a bit? My baby doesn't really seem to like it that much. Yeah, sure. We've been driving in the day so it doesn't wake people up. I didn't know anyone around here had a baby, so I'm sorry about that. It's not a problem. Just be quiet, okay? With that condescending tone and smile on her face, she walked off, which kinda made me mad because I just thought it was a friendly chat. It wouldn't be the first time people have talked to me about brother-in-law's car thinking it's mine. I've grown to accept that people will think whatever, so I play along and just tell brother-in-law about it later. 2 days go by with no sign of her. I wake up, get ready, and wait for brother-in-law to come over so we can start my lesson. I walk outside, and lo and behold, she was there. I thought I told you to keep it down. Sorry, I can't control it. That's just how the car starts, and we're not going to leave it running while we're not in it. That's a waste of gas. I don't care. Stop being so loud. With that, she was gone. It always annoys me when people complain about cars being loud. A car's a motor vehicle with a combustion engine in it. Of course it's going to make noise. Brother-in-law got to my place and off we went. We came back to my house to eat lunch about 2 or so hours later. My sister and mom come over and tell brother-in-law and I to go look at the car. The entire driver's side was scratched up and even a tire was popped. Only one person came to mind when I saw it, Karen. We, meaning me and brother-in-law, walked down to her house, which is only a few houses down, and knocked on her door. All we hear from the other side is, I'm not apologizing. So this led brother-in-law to say, then you better have a good case in court, you bee. That's gonna cost a lot to fix, and I'm suing you for every effing cent. Maybe keep it down then, you hick. Maybe don't go keying cars and popping tires and you won't get sued, you bimbo. This went on for about 20 minutes. We head back, call the police, and get everything ready for what was about to come. As soon as they got there, we started to explain what happened. How I was learning stick, how the car was, showed them the damages, told them what the Karen said, etc. We were making sure our side was accurate, so we made sure our timeline was correct. After a while, we walked with the police to her house, and it went down about as well as you'd expect. P1. Excuse me, ma'am. Can you come out here for a minute? This is the blank blank PD wanting to speak to you about the car. I'm not apologizing. I told them to keep it down, and they didn't. They deserve it. P2. Ma'am, what you did is against the law, and they're pressing charges. You have 5 minutes to get out here, or we're going to get a warrant for your arrest and come back. Nice try, but I'm not stupid. I know my rights, and you're not allowed to enter my home without my consent or a search warrant. That's only partially true. We can't search your home without a warrant. However, if we have a warrant for your arrest, we can legally enter your home and place you into custody. She was stubborn. Again, they went back and forth a bit. After the allotted time set, we went back to my house. The cops left to get a warrant, and we waited. Currently, the lawsuit's in order, and the trial's in a few days. She's in police custody. I've never found it easier to drive a stick shift knowing I won't have to deal with her condescending ways and tones. Edit. We tried to be quiet, but either way she overreacted, and we also did go to a parking lot to practice. Like I said, we went back to my house for lunch the day she keyed the car. Also, we won the case, we got the money, the car's being fixed, and she's moving. Her choice, not the judge's. I'm glad she was arrested. I feel sorry for a child having to be raised by such a psycho. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.